we do need to take advantage of the quiet moments in our lives, the quiet times like that, time right before that first sip of that first cup of coffee in the morning. The time that we're out on the porch and we're listening to the buzz of the hummingbirds. The moments that we walk to our cars just before that moment that we turn off the light in order to sleep the night. Jesus must have developed a very strong sense of an appreciation of these sorts of moments of silence. I imagine Jesus went away from his hometown of Nazareth to get some worldly experience and maybe even take a holiday before he began his ministry in earnest. He was a fairly well-employed man, a sort of middle-of-the-road carpenter, and could have found traveling work as he visited other lands and people. He may have had a sort of life that in that small city of Nazareth he didn't experience much of the world. And I imagine his being stunned as he met the poorest of people. People were struggling with diseases that he had not known about. We don't know much about his life between the ages of 12 and 30. But scholars believe that he went traveling. Imagine the shock as he saw the suffering and the poor, desperate for relief of disease and hunger. He struck out to find some adventure, and in the process, he encountered the world and the needs of so many desperate souls. Taking a rest from our troubles of our world doesn't mean we rest on our laurels, but that we take time and listen to the ways in which God is showing us the world around us. If we pause long enough to get out in nature and to meditate on God's creation, we may realize we need to do something about global warming. If we retreat to a place of silence, we may just hear the cries of those who are being bombarded with violence, war, and destruction. If we take the time to listen to the voice of God that is ever with us, we may see that we do have the time and energy to be more involved in the work and the missions of the church, serving on sessions and on committees. Taking a rest allows the power that is at work within us to flow out of us. Perhaps after taking a rest, Jesus realized that taking a rest created time for more compassion on those who had come for healing on that day on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. After all, even God took a rest, remember, on the seventh day. And so the Son of Man, the Son of God, also took rest. Yes, even Jesus needed a little leisure. Jesus was fully human and needed rest just as we do. According to one of my sources, Christian faith is simply not all doing and talking. It is dwelling in the calm depths of the divine being, respite in the peace at the heart of God. It is important to remember that Jesus did not retreat for long. It was in his return from resting that brings about more compassion. Christianity is not a religion of withdrawal. It's a place that places us on the land where people are in need, or as Bonhoeffer said, to participate in the sufferings of God in the world. This text is not about self-care alone, but at a deeper level about discerning the ways to center our presence in the presence of God. Exactly the goal of our prayers and our meditations. Yes, we are called to retreat,